Ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Tuesday for the week of September 27th, 2017. This is live for patrons right now. And with me, as always, is my co-host, a great man, awesome man, Mr. J. Lewis.
Oh, hello. I am so awesome and so great. Thank you for the compliments. How's it going, man? How are you?
I am doing well, man. I survived Hurricane, which one was it? We've had so many damn ones at this point. I don't even remember. Irma.
Big Irma.
Yeah, we survived Hurricane Irma, so we're doing pretty well. Nick Munoz is in the chat right now, as far as I know. I think he's the only one right now. I just posted this to patrons. This is going to be weekly, where patrons will be able to interact with us, get kind of the live feedback, and things like that. Everybody else gets this on Friday, but they don't get the live experience.
Oh,
I know.
Do you have the YouTube link, by the way?
I do. Let me send that to you. I mean, it's only Nick, so it really doesn't.
Oh, I can berate Nick.
Yeah.
Not really. Uh-oh.
Huh?
You still there? Okay, you froze a little bit.
Yeah, I'm fine. Let me send that. There you go.
Boom.
So today's topic, for those of you that haven't read the top up there, is our top 5 underappreciated films. I'm going to tell you right now, we were making up this list and we were discussing it. I have gone way past the 5.
Yes.
Like really past 5, because I couldn't narrow it down, because I kept looking at lists and I kept looking at movies and I'm like, yeah, that one's there. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. But as always, we're going to start off with, what have you been watching this week? What'd you watch, man?
Oh, what did I watch? I actually probably read more than I watched, and probably just more live sports. I was at Baltimore Comic-Con this past weekend with everybody, so I was kind of gone for the weekend, and didn't do much outside of that. I was up there with my cousin, so I can't think of anything that I've really. I'm a bum this week. I didn't really watch anything. Yeah. I was gone all weekend, so the time I would have spent watching some stuff, I didn't watch anything because I was at Baltimore Comic-Con with Jess and them.
Did you enjoy your time there?
Oh yeah, so my cousin lives up there, and I stayed the weekend with he and his wife, and I went all 3 days and saw Jess and Fariha and a couple other folks there. John was there from England. That was cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I hung out with them on Friday, and then I kind of helped on and off. My cousin had some friends that were running a booth there, so I kind of helped them sell some art. Their friends sell My Little Pony artwork, so yeah, she's an artist and pretty good stuff. They were moving some product, so
that's really cool, man. Yeah, I always say, if you work in Artist Alley and you try to sell your stuff, God bless you, because that is not an easy gig.
Oh yeah, the level of creepy people that walked up and just would strike up creepy conversations about My Little Pony stuff was next level.
Yeah, it was. So have you heard? To kind of go a little bit off tangent, have you heard of bronies? Right.
Yep. So their biggest thing is BronyCon.
Right, like that is their mecca.
Yep.
Now, have you heard of cloppers?
No, this is gonna get weird.
It's gonna get very weird. Okay, cloppers is a subset of bronies that they love My Little Pony to the extent. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff.
They call it clopping because that's the sound that hooves make.
Oh. I cannot unsee this.
Did you just look up what cloppers are?
Yeah, I googled it. I googled it. I can't.
18 and up.
Yeah, I can't. Yep, my life is ruined.
Yeah.
There were definitely some awkward guys that came up, like, "Well, this really isn't for me. It's for my friend, but I want 5 of them and 2 plushes." And we're like, "All right, whatever. Just spend the fucking money, dude. I'm not gonna judge you."
Yes, before you knew about cloppers. Now you know and you're educated, and you're like, okay.
Yep. I don't want to know what they did to the little plush animals
Oh
afterwards.
God. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but okay. So Clopper. God, I can't believe we're getting into this. Cloppers is
here's where we started. We immediately went.
Oh, yeah. This is where your patrons. This is where your hard-earned cash is going to. Okay, we're talking about cloppers today. So, I mean, I don't know. You have to realize it's a little bit weird.
Oh yeah,
it kind of is.
Oh,
like
God.
It's a little bit weird, you know.
I mean, there were plenty of little children that came by and they got their parents to buy stuff. That's normal, you know. Somebody came by because she's a good artist. Somebody came by and paid her like $40 to commission in her art style a Spider Gwen on the front of one of the blank Spider Gwen comics. So she worked on that. So yeah, it was fun. I just kind of walked around most of the con and then came back and helped them man their booth and helped them move shit. So
that's really cool, man.
Yeah, well, I snuck in. I snuck in early every day except for Friday because they weren't there, or they were there, but I didn't meet up with them until Saturday and Sunday. So I literally got to sneak in go in with the vendors. I'm like, yep, I'm a vendor. Yep. Oh yeah, I don't have a vendor pass, but I'm a vendor.
I should probably say though, like, if you are at work and you're listening to this, 1, why? 2, don't look up cloppers. Do not do it if you value. Yeah, if you do not do it if you value your position at your job. Not a good move. Just saying.
I'm gonna Google cloppers and then Google image it and see if there's anything bad.
No, that is a dark hole you don't want to go down.
Nothing terrible. So
are we good?
Don't worry about it. If you accidentally do it, there's nothing terrible. So you're safe. But still don't do it at work.
But I had a good week. I got a few things done.
What'd you watch? Save us. I didn't watch shit.
I got the Wonder Woman 4K Blu-ray. Looks really good. It looks really, really good. Oh, I didn't mention this last time because I didn't have it. This is because we're doing this after the storm. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I got Blade Runner 4K. I didn't mention that last time, did I?
No, but I saw you post about it.
Yeah. I ended up getting the Blade Runner 4K edition, which is a pain in the ass to find. It's really hard to come by, apparently, especially in stores. I ended up getting a copy because I went to like 3 different Best Buys, and I finally found a Best Buy that actually had one after talking to a guy for like 30 minutes, and everybody started looking around the store. Absolutely one of the most gorgeous, hands down, beautiful of the 4K editions that I've seen so far. It's stellar.
Nice.
It looks incredible. Like, you can tell that they put a lot of work and effort into it, and going from the Blu-ray to this, it's night and day.
When I move, I'm probably gonna upgrade. I have a TV. I have the 4K TV. I just don't have a player that'll do it. I'm still watching movies on like my old PS3 that like first gen PS3s. I got it like the opening weekend they came out. That thing. I remember they had a lot of problems when they first came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine just kept on. I know I had people that went through like 2 or 3 of them up front, along with Xboxes. Yeah, and yep. I was one of the lucky ones that ended up with I had a first gen Xbox 360 that nothing ever happened to it, and a first gen PS3 that nothing happened to it. I lucked out.
I went through like 4 Xboxes and 2 PS4s.
Yeah, I'm still rocking the old PS3, man.
Oh God, lucky. For those of you out there, the Red Ring of Death was very prevalent back then. I hated that shit.
On the Xbox, yep. Never had that problem, thank God.
You were very fortunate. I've had it. Like I said, I had it 4 times. Hated that shit. But yeah, I watched Wonder Woman 4K, which was really good. My girlfriend is watching Orange is the New Black right now. She's really digging that. Saw that pseudo Netflix documentary about making a Vandal or something like that, where it's about the guy who drew a bunch of dicks on cars and stuff.
I want to watch that now. Not because I like dicks, because it makes me want to laugh.
It is hilarious, dude. It's some funny shit. I've only gotten halfway through it, but it's a mockumentary. Like, the whole premise is that this high school student, he is accused of somebody that drew a bunch of dicks on a bunch of cars in the parking lot of the high school that the kid goes to. So the whole thing is set out that they are trying to prove he's innocent, but the guy is just an ass. Not a very good guy, and it's set in like this mockumentary style. It's fucking great. It's brilliant stuff. I loved it.
I need to watch it then.
You would really enjoy it. What else? There was that. I didn't get too much else in terms of TV and movies. I didn't really spend too much time doing anything like that.
I will next week. I'm on vacation next week.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be doing a lot of reading and a lot of relaxing and a lot of random. We always end up having the Game Show Network on when we're down there, so we watch a lot of like really shitty game shows, whatever comes on. I don't know. I just get gravitated towards that because honestly, daytime television, it's either Game Show Network or like shitty soap operas
or Ellen or something like
that. Just crap.
Oh man. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right into the main topic of this thing because I don't have anything else that I watched. I mostly just spent time farting around playing Destiny 2 and working on YouTube stuff. So
we're bad at this.
Yeah, we're pretty bad.
We're bad. I'm gonna make it up one of these weeks. I promise.
Well, the plan originally today was to do It. We were gonna do Stephen King's It, and we had we had somebody that was maybe gonna join us. He's huge in horror. Fortunately, he couldn't make it with us this week. Maybe next week, and we'll see where we go from there. But next week, Jay says he's going to watch Stephen King's It by this week, so we can give you guys a review and our thoughts of the movie. I'm going to tell you right now, the movie's been out for almost a month, so it's going to be spoiler-filled, okay?
Yep. I meant to see it like this past weekend, but
couldn't do it.
Now,
priorities.
Yeah. Wife wants to do it for like her belated kind of birthday. She wanted to wait till this week to do it and go to see that and then go to dinner. So we're going to do that Friday. It's already booked. I am not backing out of it. There's no way for me to miss it. So we will talk It next week.
Have you jumped on the Movie Pass bandwagon yet?
No.
So many people are jumping on that, but now it's taking like a month to get their cards.
Yeah, I don't know. The places that would take it, I don't want to go. If that makes sense. Going back to my whole commentary on I hate normal movie theaters and I just prefer the assigned seat place, and I don't mind spending a couple extra bucks per ticket to not have to deal with riffraff.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
So
that's a very good point.
Who wants to go first?
Ooh, I'll let you go first.
All right. Let's see. Where do I want to start? I think I'll pick up from. And this kind of goes back to our Nolan discussion. I kind of threw this in at the last minute because I want everybody to watch this because it's fucking incredible. Insomnia.
So good. So one of Nolan's earlier films. It's
underappreciated. It is not one of the top movies that you think of when he does it, or the movies he's made. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Just a great crime thriller movie with Al Pacino and Robin Williams. And I know we had talked about it before, but Robin Williams is just sadistic, and Al Pacino is just doesn't sleep, hence the movie. So he's just kind of rumbling around. But no, really incredible movie. Great twists, good ending. They don't really fart around and like, hey, who's the bad guy? They let you know that it's Robin Williams, and they let you know that it's Robin Williams very early on. So I won't spoil much of anything else, but yes, that is, and these are in no particular order, by the way. So yeah, that's just my first one.
Yeah, it's not one of those movies where they get to the ending of the film, it's like, oh, Robin Williams was innocent the whole time, like he didn't do anything. No, he's. From the onset, they let you know, no, this guy, he's a little bit messed up in the head, and he's doing some shady shit.
Yep. Yeah, you know early. And, I mean, it's not – it's probably maybe first quarter of the movie, maybe halfway through the movie. You figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm not spoiling anything.
And but the log cabin, not to spoil anything, but the part where they're, like, running along the logs.
Yes, that's
Great stuff.
That's early on in the movie. That's a great scene.
What's for those out there who have not heard of it? What's like the initial premise?
So here, I'll just read the back. Invited to Night Mute, Alaska to head a murder case, a veteran LAPD detective finds his investigation disrupted by an ever-shining midnight sun that wreaks sleep-deprived havoc on him, and by personal guilt over a second crime that may be real or a figment of his increasingly unstable consciousness. So basically, I forget where he's from. He's like San Francisco, and he's a good detective, and it's in some small town in Alaska, and they need help, and so they call him in to help. And that's basically how it gets off. And I think Hilary Swank's in it. Yep, she's in it. She's kind of the local cop that he kind of trolls the area with. But yeah, they just don't know what to do and don't have the manpower to deal with it, and they bring in old Al Pacino, save the day.
Okie doke. My next pick. Ooh, I've got some right here. Let's go with Fallen. This Fallen is I want to say 1996. It's in one of the earlier Denzel Washington films. And Fallen centers around a detective. And at the beginning of the film, you get the actor who played, and I'm blanking on the guy's name right now.
John Goodman?
No, but John Goodman's in it. The actor who plays, he played the Ninja Turtles guy, in the Teenage Ninja Turtles movie. He played the guy with the hockey mask.
Oh, Casey Jones?
Yes.
Elias Koteas.
Yes, Elias Koteas. Elias Koteas is one of those underrated actors, man, that once he gets in a movie, you get fucking Elias Koteas. He is so good in this movie. It's great. And he steals every scene he's in, and he's only in the first few minutes of the movie. The movie starts out with Elias Koteas. He's being brought to, he's on death row, and he's being taken to the execution. He's going to be taken to the electric chair. And once he's leading up there, things are a little bit off with this right from the beginning. And as he's heading up to the electric chair, he's singing Rolling Stones. He's singing a bunch of songs, and it's a little bit weird. He's dancing. He's really excited to actually die. This doesn't seem like a regular guy that should be this way that he is. You soon find out that what's going on is that Elias Koteas is actually possessed by a demon, and the demon transfers through touch. Denzel Washington finds out about this, and he sets out to stop the demon. It's a brilliant film. I absolutely love Fallen. It's also a really good, now that we're kind of entering the Halloween season, it's kind of a good horror story that has a phenomenal ending that I didn't see coming. It's one of those movies where you watch the ending and it puts into context the whole film again.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it, so that will go on my list.
Dude, you owe it to yourself to watch it.
All right.
It sounds really worth it. I think it's up on Netflix. I'm pretty sure you can get it on Netflix.
Well, if that's the case, I'll start that shit tonight.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I enjoy the hell out of it. Elias Koteas is great. He actually had to learn Elias Koteas for the film has to speak in that short period that he's in a dead language, and he actually learned the dead language. And there's only 3 people in the world that can they were able to teach him that language. He went to the first 2 people, and because of their religious upbringing and what they studied, they refused to actually teach Elias Koteas the curse words. So he went to the 3rd person, and that 3rd person taught him the curse words in that dead language.
I want to know those words. Cursing people out in the dead language.
It's one of those gems that every time I'm working on something, or I have, just want to have something in the background, I instantly put it on.
Word.
And I love it every single time.
It's on my list. All right. My next movie. I think it's underappreciated. I don't know what other people think. If it thinks it gets critical acclaim, I don't know. But Gattaca.
I've never seen it.
It is awesome. It's Jude Law, Ethan Hawke, and Uma Thurman. Basically, the gist of it is in the future, everybody's genetically engineered, so they're all perfect at birth. They have no flaws, no defects. And Ethan Hawke's character is a defective child, so to speak. He's got a lot of issues, and his parents have them. So he's there's a twist I won't ruin, but basically he wants to go to space, and he ends up using Jude Law's character. He actually takes Jude Law's identity. So Jude Law is a crippled, like, Olympian that is he's just a perfect specimen, but he's crippled from an accident. So he ends up using blood samples, urine samples, and basically defrauds this space program and enters the space program as Jude Law and uses Jude Law's character's name. And it's kind of the thrill of that process and going through him almost getting caught and all this stuff, all because he wants to go to space. And there is some investigators that come up, and they're like sniffing his scent and kind of onto him. And the twist at the end is pretty cool. But yeah, fantastic movie, cool sci-fi movie. Gattaca actually is, you can kind of see it. It's the G's and the A T's. Those are all DNA sequences. So I think that's the GATTACA is a DNA sequence, hence the DNA sequence right here in the cover. Little interesting bit of knowledge for you. So yes, fantastic movie. Watch it. You won't regret it.
You definitely have my attention on that one. That actually sounds really good.
Yep, love it.
Next one on my list. Just kind of going with the Denzel Washington theme. Man on Fire.
Yep, seen that. Good shit.
Yeah. Did poorly. Actually, it's a remake of an old movie and did poorly with critics. I love Man on Fire. I fucking love that movie, man.
What's that little girl's name?
Good. I forgot the little girl's name, but his name is Casey in the movie.
Oh, it's Dakota Fanning.
Yes, that's young Dakota Fanning. That was a long time ago.
Yep, I knew it was somebody familiar.
For those of you that have never seen Man on Fire, it centers around the character of Casey, played by Denzel Washington. And Casey is a washed-up, I believe, don't quote me on this, it's been a while since I've seen it, washed-up veteran.
Creasy.
Creasy, thank you.
Yep.
He likes to drink a lot. He really isn't the sharpest tool in the shed anymore. He's kind of older now. And he ends up, through certain circumstances, getting some bodyguard work because he's got some money to pay off. The bodyguard work is that he has to protect this little girl. And throughout this film, they start forming this bond together. And eventually, you get to the point in the film where the little girl is captured. I'm not going to say anything else, but I will say that Denzel Washington opens up a huge can of whoop ass in this film. I think this is one of his better performances. And like Training Day, which Denzel actually got the Oscar for, I think he should have gotten something for this. I absolutely love this film from beginning to end. Denzel Washington, one of those actors that when you sign up Denzel, you get Denzel Washington. He shows up and he kicks ass.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Definitely a good, you're on a Denzel Washington kick.
The Matt Miranda, the ass bomb and Man on Fire.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, that was fair. But the guy had it coming. That was fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, I wish you had more time. I was like, Oh my God, that is so good.
He doesn't give two fucks. He's just, you're dead.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. My next one is kind of I'm a fan of some of the British gangster films. Your Lock, Stocks, your Snatch, that sort of stuff. I didn't include those because those get pretty good credit, but this one I don't think does. Actually, I have two of them in my list. This is the first one, and this is Layer Cake.
Ooh, that was one of Daniel Craig's earlier films.
Yep. Yeah. Layer Cake is phenomenal. I can't remember how I found out about it. It has a bunch of people that I've never really heard of outside of Daniel Craig, Michael Gambon, and Sienna Miller, probably the only other two that I know about. But basically, he's a coke dealer, your average run-of-the-mill coke dealer, and he is trying to retire. get out of the game, take his money and run. And his kind of boss that he works for sends him on 2 crazy assignments. And before he can check out, and a lot of double crossing, a lot of ins and outs and what have yous. Without spoiling too much, this is one of those ones you just can't talk a lot about because it's just you'll ruin some of the plot. But phenomenal movie if you like British gangster movies. One of the top underappreciated ones in my opinion.
It's one of those films also that got Daniel Craig to be Bond. This is pre-Bond Daniel Craig.
Correct. Absolutely correct. And he's very smooth in it. He's very Bond in it without being Bond.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's holding like a Bond gun on the It's like, wait a second, he does that pretty good. Bond.
I think it was that cover. It was that cover that probably won them over.
Yes, like he holds that gun like Bond. Score, and he's British. You win.
My next pick is The Grey with Liam Neeson. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
I have not, I don't think.
The Grey is great. It's a film that was a few years ago, centered around Liam Neeson. The Grey centers around the character of Liam Neeson, who he is part of this expedition. God, it's been so long. So they are on a plane trip. They're going out. They're going to go hunt, and the plane crashes. Then it's basically just Liam Neeson and this group of survivors as they try to survive in this wilderness and try to find help. But throughout the whole film, they are being chased by these wolves. And they're not these like normal wolves. They're basically like the wolves from Game of Thrones. They are huge. And basically the whole thing is one giant allegory. And Liam Neeson, after filming this, like it was either right before or just like right when it happened, his wife had just died. And the whole movie is dealing with death. It's a giant allegory for dealing with death, dealing with getting over death, dealing with people suffering and things. It's an incredible performance by Liam Neeson. And, you know, just knowing the backstory of how his wife had died and everything, I was watching that film, and by the end of it, I was absolutely floored. And I think it's a must-see film. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. And there's a quote that Liam Neeson says in the film where he's basically quoting once more Into the Grey. And it's one of those quotes that it sticks with you.
I don't think I've seen it. I've heard of it. I know of it. I've also added it to my list.
Yes.
Sticking with my just 2 movies with my British underappreciated. This is a Guy Ritchie film, Rock and Rolla.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. It's just a standard, British gangster plot. There's just drug dealers and people doing stupid shit, and who's in this? I forget now. A guy or Gerard Butler's in it. Tom Wilkinson's kind of the main antagonist. He's kind of the main gangster. Lenny Cole is his character's name, and then you've got Gerard Butler has like a small time crew, and Thandie Newton is in it. Jeremy Piven's in it. So a lot of different people. Just a really good movie, and I think I forget this guy's name. You can't really see it because of the glare. I have to look it up. What is this guy's name? Tom.
A lot of people before they were famous.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's in it. Idris Elba's in it. Mark Strong's in it. Toby Kebbell, that's his name. He is, I think he's like the son of one of the gangster, and he's just a fucking train wreck. He's just a train wreck. Ludacris is in it. Jesus, I forget. I gotta go back and rewatch this, but I love one of those ones you probably just pass over if you don't think about it, but definitely in the same vein as Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or Snatch or any of those. Even like Layer Cake and Rock and Roll just don't get the credit they're deserved. You always hear Lock, Stock, you always hear Snatch. You don't hear of these two. So if you like British gangster movies, do yourself a favor, watch these. They're both fantastic.
Yeah, you always hear about Snatch simply because of Brad Pitt's performance in it. It's Where he plays the gypsy.
Yeah, so the caravan.
Where you don't understand half of what he says throughout the movie.
It's a parent bleu.
He's great in that, though, man.
Yeah.
And that bare knuckle boxing scene at the end is so good.
Fucking pikeys. Gotta go. I gotta watch that again. I love that movie.
I need to watch Snatch again. That was such a good film.
Yeah.
I kind of wish he would go back to doing those again.
So many great quotable movies, quotable lines in that, and Lock, Stock.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like Snatch a little bit better. Lock, Stock's fantastic, but Snatch is slightly better on my list. But.
Yeah, I like I said, I really wish he would go back to that and stop, focusing so much on these like bigger budget films and stuff and work.
Yeah, he just do the what was it? The Arthur movie with the guy from
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I heard it was terrible.
I had no interest in it. It's like, let's do a new wave Guy Ritchie. Boom, boom, boom. Like, just stick to what you know, man. Stop making Sherlock. I mean, I'll be honest. Guilty pleasure. I like the Sherlock Holmes movies, but just
I like them. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah,
I want to see a third one.
Go back to just the hardcore British gangster movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got you here. So,
anyway. This next one I've got is this one is probably no stranger to Matt. I'm pretty sure he knows, and he probably has the steelbook for this. This is The Professional, Leon the Professional.
That's a great movie. I haven't seen that in a hot minute, but that is a great movie.
That's a great movie. Leon the Professional centers around a hitman, and at the beginning of the film, this murder basically ends up happening to this girl's family. Now the girl ends up escaping, and she ends up at the hitman's doorstep. And reluctantly, the hitman, who lives by this code, he lives by himself, he does the same thing every day, doesn't break tradition, he sticks to his code, ends up taking this girl in. And through that, they form this bond that can be a bit creepy, a little bit creepy, almost borderline love. Not advocating anything weird, but it is a bit creepy. He ends up with this girl, and he ends up protecting her. He ends up actually teaching her the basics of becoming an assassin. Of course, eventually shit hits the fan, to say at least. Shit really hits the fan, and you have got the main antagonist, who is, why am I blanking on the actor's name right now?
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. And this was Gary Oldman when Gary Oldman didn't turn down his reactions in films. He gives one hell of a performance in this, and it's a stunning movie if you are into like assassin films and things like that. It also has one of the best, in my humble opinion, climaxes in an action movie that I have seen in a long, long time. Like when things go south, I really don't want to talk spoilers in case nobody has seen it, because it is kind of an older film. Who was the director on that? I forgot who's the director right now.
Luc Besson,
Luc Besson.
Fifth Element.
Yes, the director for The Fifth Element. When things go south at the end of the film, and when the big shootout happens at the end of the film, it's so fucking good.
That's a young Natalie Portman.
That's a very young Natalie Portman.
Oh yeah, she's the child in the movie. Yep, great movie. Need to watch it. I don't know if I still own it or not, but
I have the Blu-ray. I have the Steelbook Blu-ray.
Did I trade it in? Nope, it's gone. I figured I could watch it somewhere else, but great movie. Yes, I agree. Watch it if you haven't. It's
an older film too.
It is. It was.
Natalie Portman was like 12 in that.
94. Yeah. So she is in her. She's like a year older than I am, so she's 36.
Yeah.
So 84. Yep. Oh wait, 84. 94. So 81 to 94. She was 13.
Yeah.
So yeah, super young. All right, my next movie. Let's see which one I want to do. Let's do this one. an underappreciated movie and an underappreciated Heath Ledger movie is A Knight's Tale.
I like A Knight's Tale.
Yep. Just a fun, I mean, more almost a comedy, but not really, but just a fun movie. And he's really good in it. And the guy who plays, Alan Tudyk's in it, Rufus Sewell, and I'm trying to remember the guy who plays the Vision, who does the, what is his name? He's in it. I'm trying to remember what his name is. I gotta look it up. I'm bad. Paul Bettany. He plays Geoffrey Chaucer. So it's a story of Heath Ledger's character is a nobody. He wants to be a knight. He fakes, stumbles across some guys, some people on the road that help him and kind of forge papers for him and work with him to become a knight because he wants to compete in local tournaments, and he just kind of works his way up and falls in love with this I guess princess or whatever she is, and it's kind of the journey through that. Just a fun story. Every time I watch it, it just makes me sad about Heath Ledger and his passing, because he was such a talented actor.
Yeah, and you saw glimpses of that in that film. I mean, it's A Knight's Tale is just one of those films that if you have a Saturday to kill and you're like, I want to watch something really fun. It's a bit lighthearted in tone. That's the film to watch. It's really good.
Yeah, it's not depressing. It's not sad, other than the fact that if you just you like Heath Ledger, you'll be like, man, too soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise it really gives you appreciation for him as an actor. And then so just a fun movie. Go watch it.
I really would have liked to have seen what Nolan would have done with Dark Knight 3 had Ledger been around.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the rumor was always Nolan never had a concrete plan for the third film, but he always knew Joker was going to be a huge part in it.
And he just had to dump it.
Yeah, he had to dump it, and damn.
The third one was great. I mean...
yeah, I enjoyed the third one. My turn.
Yep.
What are you drinking tonight, by the way?
It's a local brewery, The Vale. It's called, so this shtick is it's an IPA, and it's got low bittering units, so the things that make IPAs kind of bitter to people, so they call it I really don't ever want to be you, and the BU stands for bittering unit. So it's very smooth, but just kind of got a creepy can. I don't know.
It does have a creepy can.
Yeah, I've stocked up on a bunch of their stuff for vacation next week, so
gotta get that stocked up.
Yep. If you like IPAs, The Vale here in Richmond, Virginia is the shit.
My next choice, Battle Royale.
Yep, I need to watch that. I mean, that goes back to my younger days of some of my nerdier friends growing up are like, you got to watch that movie. It's so good. And I just have neglected. I think it's on Netflix, so I need to watch it.
Yeah, Battle Royale is one of those films that like you, when I was growing up, I think it was probably in high school, I want to say. My friends would have a bootleg copy of Battle Royale. This was before it was readily available, before the Netflix and stuff like that, where you actually had to hunt down a Japanese, I believe it's a Japanese film, the copy of Battle Royale with subtitles on it. You had to have a friend who they knew how to get it.
Right.
And it was a film that was passed around my high school by all my friends. I was like, yo, you should check out Battle Royale. It's amazing. It's really cool. Quentin Tarantino loves it. He's like, oh, shit. And so the first time I watched it, I was just blown away. Oh, my God. And the premise of Battle Royale is that you have all of these kids. I believe they're Japanese, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think they are.
I believe they're Japanese. And they are basically in the middle of the night taken, and they are placed on an island, and they are forced to kill each other. They are forced to fight on an island, and the island is filled with weapons. It's filled with a whole bunch of crap that they can kill each other.
Japanese Hunger Games.
It's Hunger Games, only not watered down. And this is something you guys have probably heard. And slowly but surely, you start developing an interest. You start liking a bunch of these characters, and you start seeing all of these characters get picked off in brutal, brutal fashion.
Yeah, that was my understanding without having seen it. Is just basically a older, brutaler, if that's a word, Hunger Games, where this, bunch of kids are like a very what was that book? I feel
Lord
like
of the Flies?
yeah, that's it. Very Lord of the Flies esque.
I've never read it.
So yeah, that's my understanding. I need to watch it. I started to watch it a couple weeks back. I'm like, all right, it's time. We're gonna do it. I got sidetracked. So again, that is now also on my list.
Sakura's Darling makes a good point in the chat. She states, Battle Royale is fantastic. Hunger Games is more political. Good point. She's right.
That's fair.
Yeah. Battle Royale is more along the lines of it really doesn't have too much to say. It's just a cool premise, and they execute it really well.
Right. Just go kill each other. There's no like she said, there's no backlying or underlying political theme where it's, the government's making them do it. It's just, here you go kill each other. Have fun. Yeah.
Matt's saying he thinks he's going to do a Blade Runner double feature next Thursday. Going to be 4.5 hours. Wow. What's the running time on 2049? I don't know
yet. Probably 2.5.
I'm guessing 2.5 to 2:45.
Let's see. Now I'm curious. Blade Runner, has it been getting good reviews?
They've been calling it a modern day masterpiece.
2:43. 2 hours and 43 minutes. That's a long ass movie, man. That's
a lot. Yeah,
it's Lord of the Rings esque.
It's close. Yeah, it's pulling up there. It's almost 3 hours long. Damn.
Let's see what it's. I'm curious. When does it come out? This Friday or next Friday?
Next Friday.
Okay. All right. Next one on my list is another comedy from the 90s, early 90s. Underappreciated, in my opinion. One of Mike Myers' earlier films, if you like Mike Myers, and that is So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Never seen it.
It is fucking hilarious. You got to like Mike Myers and his humor. He also doubles up and plays his dad in the movie. So he's of Scottish heritage. So he plays his Scottish dad. He's great. Yeah, he's basically like fat bastard, but not fat and not a bastard, basically. So he's kind of he's a poet, and he in San Francisco, and he's kind of like a serial dater and constantly breaks up with all of his girlfriends and never wants to settle down with anybody, and finds the girl in the movie who's Harriet is her name, and she's played by Nancy Travis. Finds her, falls in love with her, but runs across some stuff where there's like coincidental things that happen where and people that she's run across in her life where they've been brutally murdered, like to death with an axe. So hence the name of the movie. So everybody in his family kind of looks at him and says, man, this is you trying to get out of the relationship. You're crazy. Like, it's the love of your life. And it kind of steamrolls from there. And there's a twist in it that you actually find out, like, there is something to her past in that regard. I won't spoil that end of it, but there's a lot of like there's just funny one-liners and funny things in it that it's something I remember watching a lot with my parents when I was, in the early and mid 90s. And it's kind of one of our my parents and my movies that we can joke about to this day. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. I love it. Go watch it. If you don't like it, don't hate me, but it's your damn problem. It's funny.
I'm putting that on my list. That sounds fun, dude.
Yep. It's hilarious.
Okay, for this next one, I am going to choose. Okay, I'm lumping these two together because they tie in so much, and I've mentioned these in the past before. Rec 1 and Rec 2. With horror being a huge topic that we're going to be covering pretty soon, I want to do a horror episode eventually. Rec 1 and Rec 2 will definitely be on that list. And Rec 1 actually had a US remake that was piss poor. It was terrible. But Rec 1 and Rec 2 are fantastic. The general premise of Rec 1 is that it's set in a building. And in this building, there's this camera. It's a found footage film. There's this zombie outbreak that ends up happening. The film starts out with a reporter who is kind of investigating everything that is going on with the firefighters. She's kind of doing like this documentary about firefighters. Hey, how's their life and everything like that. And all of a sudden the firefighters get this call. Hey, look, we got to go. There's something going on in this building. You know, one of the patients is acting like a little bit weird. So they show up. And when they show up, the building gets locked down by the military, the entire thing. Like, there are snipers covering the entire building. They put walls up so people can't get in or out. And basically what ends up happening is that they are trapped inside of this building, and they have to try and figure out a way out and get down to what's causing this outbreak. This is the Spanish version. The Spanish version and the American version of Rec 1 are pretty close. And then you get to what I think is the superior film, which is Rec 2. In Rec 1, there's this, and this is, of course, in the Spanish version. The English version left this part out. In Rec 1, there are these kids that somehow manage to find their way into the building. Rec 2 follows those kids, and halfway through the film, it changes perspective, and it ends up following the military guys that are sent inside the building to take care of the quarantine, to take care of what went down inside of the building. And you start getting to find out more of what exactly is going on, what caused the outbreak. Rec 2 is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I'm recommending this one, guys. If you have a good set of headphones on, or if you have a good set of surround sound speakers on, shut all the lights off, watch it at night. You will be creeped out. It's such a great film. And I highly, highly recommend Rec 2. Stay away from Rec 3 and 4. They were garbage. Rec 1 and 2 are modern day classics. And I feel very comfortable in saying that.
Interesting. I not being a huge horror buff, I need to do myself a favor and watch some more stuff of that. But usually probably because I'm easily scared, just to be honest. So I usually stay away. And they give me kind of the anxiety. They give me a little bit of anxiety watching, because I'm just like, something's gonna happen. And I think that's probably why I hate mostly. I don't hate horror films, but I just gravitate away from them for that reason, because I'm like, why do I want to watch something that stresses me out?
Then if you're like that, you probably won't enjoy Rec 2, because I like I said, I think it's one of the best horror films that have come out in the past 15 years. Absolutely love Rec 2.
Interesting. Well, I'll give it a shot. I will give it a shot.
It's subtitled also.
I've got a few. I've got 3 more movies. The last ones that I've got are older movies. You know, they probably get some cred out there at some point. First one I don't actually have a copy of, but all these movies are kind of movies that I enjoyed as a child, and then the stuff that I watched with my family. I'd go visit my family every year in Michigan, dad's side of my family, and these were just like childhood classics of mine that I enjoyed. The first one was Annie, or the 80s version, which is just The Little Orphan Annie. It's got, let me see here, Tim Curry's in it, from It fame and other movies. I'm trying to remember who, not the new one. Not that that's a bad one, but I prefer the 80s version with Albert Finney, Carol Burnett's in it, Tim Curry, Bernadette Peters, so some older actors and actresses. Just a phenomenal. If you enjoy that story, that is the quintessential Annie movie, other than if you watched it on Broadway or something. But yes, if you enjoy that sort of stuff, watch it. It is a classic A classic movie. And actually, my grandparents in Michigan lived a couple doors down from one of the actors that was in it. He was the guy who played Franklin Delano Roosevelt in the movie. His name was Edward Herman, was the actor, and they lived a couple doors down from him, which was kind of cool. And that's where I watched it. Every time we go up there. It was one of the three movies we watched every time I was there. So just one of those things that stuck with me as a child. So you may hate it. I love it. Go fuck yourself.
I want that on a t-shirt.
Yep.
If we ever do t-shirt designs, I want somebody to come up with that one.
You may hate it. I love it. Go fuck yourself.
I like it. I like it, man. My next pick is Frailty. I've talked quite a bit about this one through live streams and stuff like that. Frailty centers around... Hey, baby. Frailty centers around this small town family. Basically, it's Bill Paxton, and Bill Paxton actually directed the film as well. Are you going to sleep? I can move over there. It's fine, babe. Okay, all right. Go. Oh, you don't want to be... Okay. This way, more. Am I good? Hold on. Wait. Oh, you got somebody saw your head.
No.
I saw it.
She didn't want to be seen.
That's okay.
But yeah, back on topic. Frailty centers around this small town family. Now, it centers around this father who he's got these two sons. And everything is going fine. He's raising these two sons on his own. You really don't know... and you really don't see anything wrong about it. You soon find out that this father has this vision. He thinks he is called by God to destroy these demons. And you then go about trying to figure out if these visions that he's having are real, or if the kid's father has finally lost it and is starting to kill people and claiming that it's because of God. At the same time, the film starts out with Matthew McConaughey, who he is one of the two sons. He is actually in a police station being investigated by a cop, and he's telling the story of what happened, how he grew up with this guy, and the stuff that his father did to his kids in the name of God. I won't get into too many other specific details, but Frailty is one of those underrated gems from the early 90s that I absolutely adore. It was one of Bill Paxton's earlier directorial films, if I'm not mistaken. It was actually maybe his first film that he directed. And Bill Paxton just delivers one hell of a great performance. And every scene that Matthew McConaughey is in, he chews up the scenery. Now, you're going to get to the ending, and the ending, they stretch it just a little bit. Just a tiny bit, the plausibility of it. But it's enough where I'm like, okay, I can kind of buy it, and everything else about this is so great that I'm just going to go along with it. I love Frailty. It's such a great film. It has a pseudo-Christian message, but it doesn't beat you over the head with it. It's very subtle with it.
I'm finding out new stuff all the time. Another one on my list.
Netflix.
Got some work to do.
That one's on Netflix.
Oh, good. Well, that makes life easy then. Netflix makes life easy. There, boom, slogan. Netflix, we make life easy.
Just pay us. It's better than that new one they got. Netflix, what is it? Comedy isn't funny or something like that? It's stand-up. I don't know.
The worst. I could come up with such better shit.
Yeah.
Tagline, slogans, jingles. Just hire me. I'll make you millions. Next on my list, another one of these. These other two movies are from the 60s, and these were kind of appreciated again through my family and watching over and over again. Because when I was a kid, I didn't want to watch this shit. I'm like, movies from the 60s, fuck this. Like, I have no interest in this crap. But now I really appreciate them. And the first one is actually, I don't have them on Blu-ray or any high definition format, and I need to because they're amazing. Is The Great Race, or excuse me, The Great Escape. I just gave away the other one, but we'll get to that one shortly. So The Great Escape, This is with Steve McQueen, James Gardner, Richard Attenborough, just legends in acting. It is about a group of POWs that are caught during World War II in a Nazi camp, and their escape from said Nazi camp, POW camp. And it's more serious. There's some funny aspects to it, but it is just a great movie. I mean, if you love that period in time, these actors won't steer you wrong. They're absolutely incredible in it. One of Steve McQueen's great movies. And it basically they build tunnels out of the, they build a group of tunnels outside of the camp that they're being held, and it's their great escape from said camp and everything that goes with it. So classic, watch it. I don't really hear it getting much. Nobody really mentions it anymore. So do yourself a favor, watch it. It is phenomenal.
Good choice. Good choice. Next pick on my list, I am going to go with a little vampire film called Let the Right One In. There was an American remake. We already talked about The Wire. No, we haven't talked about The Wire, Matt. There was an American remake called Let Me In. Let the Right One In is far creepier, and it has an ending that just gets really under your skin and doesn't leave. Let the Right One In centers around a young girl and a young boy. Now, this young girl has just moved in across the street with this older gentleman. The young boy is infatuated with this girl, and it to the point where the young boy throughout the film is falling in love with her. The problem is this young girl is a vampire, and it's very subtle in its horror. It's very subtle in its kind of unsettlingness. Throughout this whole film, there's a bit of tension, and there's this unsettlingness to about the whole thing, where you're watching this young boy fall in love with this girl who was going to be immortal, and it has an ending that it's one of those endings that to this day I still think about it, and it just sends chills down my spine. I love this film. I love this version of this film, and I think it's absolutely a must-see, especially since, like I said, we're coming up around Halloween. This is definitely one of those that you will enjoy, but it's a slow burn of a film. It's not for everybody. I'm telling you right now, if you enjoy slow movies, if you enjoy like thought-provoking films, this isn't just like a gory vampire movie where she's ripping people's heads off throughout the entire thing. There is violence. There are moments where the vampire does get to cut loose. It happens very sporadically, but I absolutely adore this film.
Is it, just looking it up, is it Swedish?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, because I've seen Let Me In.
Yeah. You've seen Let Me In?
Yes, I've seen the American version.
It's a pretty close shot-to-shot remake of the Swedish version.
Gotcha. Yeah, good movie. I enjoyed Let Me In. So if it's similar to that, but better, then awesome. I'd watch it. And then my last one, which I unfortunately kind of alluded to, I was doing The Great Escape. They have very similar names. This was also from the 60s. It's called The Great Race. Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, and the late, great Natalie Wood. That's a Jess shout-out. I'm pretty sure Jess loves Natalie Wood. I could be wrong, but if my memory serves me correctly, I think he does. Absolutely one of the funniest fucking movies, pardon my French, that I have ever seen. If you love Jack Lemmon and his shenanigans, it basically centers there is a race from New York to Paris. This Tony Curtis is what's the word I'm looking for? Like a stunt guy. He does, he's always looking for the next stunt. He's jumping out of hot air balloons. He's, racing cars as fast as they can go, racing boats as fast as they can go. works with a car manufacturer to help him create a car for a race, and he comes up with this race from New York to Paris. How the hell are you going to drive from New York to Paris, you ask? Very delicately. They end up crossing like through Alaska and through Russia and that sort of area. So that's how they end up getting. But it's hilarious. It is directed by the late great Blake Edwards. I mean, it's one of those 60s movies that you get through it and there's like a 20-minute intermission of just music, and you just kind of sit there and you're like, just kind of through halfway through the movie. But yeah, I don't know. If that's not your thing, then again, fuck you. But really do yourself a favor. I love this movie. Watch it again. If you hate it, sorry, but at least you watched it, because it is just, I can't say enough good things about it. Absolutely hilarious. Just a fun ride from start to finish. It changed my life. It's something that and Annie and The Great Escape were films that I watched with my dad, who passed away about 10 years ago. And it's those sort of movies that just bring back good memories. So watch it. Watch it.
Good choices, man. I got two more for you.
Right.
Let's go with this one. This one's just over the top and stupid fun. Like if you take this one seriously, that's on you. You really shouldn't. Punisher Warzone. I love Punisher Warzone. I have an unabashed love for that. It is terrible. It is junky. It is schlock. But there's something so much fun about that damn movie that I just can't. I can't put my finger on it.
The director, I can't remember her name, but they were like, I'm going to make it just like a comic book. And I think she took that and was like, here's like a comic book, and here's like way past what a comic book should be. And she ended up here and was like, oops, oh well.
It's so over the top. It's fun. It really is. Come on, you can't tell me you didn't laugh during the scene with the rocket launcher.
Oh yeah, the parkour rocket launcher. I was just about to say that. I laughed my ass off. She probably, I don't know if she meant that to be as hilarious as it was, but it was hilarious.
The murder chandelier at the beginning. Come on.
Yeah. And comparing it to that's what pisses me off. Punisher's probably my favorite Marvel character, and he just never got a good on-screen rendition. So I'm like, I'm hitching all my horses, so to speak, to the Netflix show. And if that sucks, then I give up. But it better be good.
That first trailer looks good, dude. For the Netflix show.
Yeah, and they incorporated Metallica, which I'm a fan of. So my hype level is over 9,000. You better come through, Marvel and Netflix, or I'm going to be pissed. Pissed.
I love it. Come on. Okay, can you really be mad at the point where he punches a guy through the head? He physically punches his fist through the guy's head.
Well, that's when that's another scene where you're just like, that's you know it's over the top. You know it's you know it's stupid. You know it's and you just laugh. I laughed at it. I don't know if she made the movie to be serious, or if she was kind of like just knew it was going to be over the top, gratuitous violence, and that you probably were going to laugh at it. What could have saved it was good acting by the guy who played the Jigsaw.
Oh no, that was terrible.
But he for me ruined the movie. His acting was so fucking bad. And that was the guy, wasn't he in The Wire? What was his name?
Yeah, he was in The Wire.
There's our Wire reference for you, Matt.
There you go, Matt. You get one every week for you.
He was so bad in that. God, it was bad. Dominic West. Jesus.
Yeah. He called me Jigsaw. What accent was he going for in that movie?
Just a really bad Baltimore accent or something. Like, it was horrible. It was just, that ruined it. Like, Ray Stevenson was bad. I think they jumped on him because they were like, he was awesome in Rome. Let's grab Ray Stevenson. I'm like, he was fucking awesome in Rome. This is going to be, oh god damn it, it's terrible. So, did you ever see Rome?
No.
The HBO show? Oh,
how was it?
Do I still have that? I better not have gotten rid of that. That is maybe I did. That's sad. That is sad. Watch Rome. It was a short-lived HBO series with Ray Stevenson, and I can't remember the other guy, but holy shit, that was a good series. Not to get too far off topic. But short-lived. They canceled it after the second season, and they kind of crammed a lot in at the end of the season because they knew they were going to kill it, and it suffered a little bit at the end, but overall, Rome is definitely worth watching.
So it's basically like Carnival. Do you remember HBO's Carnival?
I heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah. They did the exact same thing. Carnival only lasted like 2 seasons. It had Clancy fucking Brown in it. How does a show that has Clancy Brown in it only last 2 seasons? But it lasted 2 seasons. It was about a whole bunch of carnies. It was really weird, but I dug it as a kid. I shouldn't have been watching it as a kid. Oh.
Yeah. Definitely, if you haven't seen Rome, watch Rome. That's literally that's right after that is when they cast. So that was like mid 2000s, 2005, 2006, somewhere around then. And I think Warzone came out late, like 2008, 2009,
around that ballpark.
2008, yeah, 2008. So it was literally right after Rome, and they're like, he was badass in Rome. Let's cast him as Punisher. So I was all hyped up. I'm like, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And then it just very, very, very flat.
Didn't happen.
That's more of a guilty pleasure movie.
I had something else I can say. Oh, you know what I've never seen? I've never seen Deadwood.
Me neither. But I reference what's his face, the guy who plays. I know the character's named Swearingen, and they call the Asian character calls him Swedgen.
Is he the one that always says cocksucker all the time?
Ian McShane, yeah. Yep. Ian McShane's and everything. Al Swearingen, and the Asian guy calls him Swedgen.
Everything that everybody's told me, though, is that Deadwood is great, but just wait for the movie to come out because it ends on a cliffhanger. Because they thought they were going to get another season, but they didn't get it.
Interesting. Yep. Ian McShane was in he was in a lot of stuff. He was in one of the seasons of Game of Thrones. Yeah. I love him as an actor. I need to watch that. It's just so much old television that I need to watch that I just haven't finished or other stuff comes out. Don't have time for.
Alrighty. Last one on my list. This was something that came out a few years ago. It's a really good underrated gem, and I'm going to say Hannah.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Hannah centers around this young girl who she has escaped from this government facility. She has been genetically altered to basically be just a human weapon. It's a very, very, very artsy-fartsy, artistic film, but I really dig Hannah. Really, really great movie if you're somebody that really likes those kind of artsy-fartsy but action films. I really recommend this one to everybody who they are looking for something to kill an afternoon with. It's a blast. It's fun all the way through. The pacing is great. It's a really, really well-paced film. Does not slow down for almost anything from beginning to end.
Yeah, I've now that I've looked it up, I've heard of it, I've seen it. I remember it coming out. I just never watched it. So interesting. Kate Blanchett's in it. I know she's like the government figure, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Need to add that. I will. Is that on Netflix?
Hannah?
Yeah.
I want to say yes.
Make my life easy, Netflix. Come on.
I've seen it on Netflix. I don't know if it's on it right now though.
Interesting. Yep. I will add that. I will add that to the old list. Got a lot of work to do. Damn it.
Okay, out of all of them that I recommended tonight, if you're going to sit down and watch one, I really think you should watch Fallen.
Okay. I can do that.
Because I really dig that one.
What were the ones you had? Had you seen Layer Cake and Rock and Rolla? Did you see those?
I haven't seen them.
Which one?
I haven't seen Layer Cake or Rock and Rolla.
Both of those are good. I'd actually say if you want to kind of just if you're not in the mood to jump right into one of those and have to pay attention to it, I'd watch Gattaca. I'm sorry, I'm kind of looking at my movies here. Gattaca's great. I'd start with that.
Gattaca?
Yep.
All right.
Really good movie. And then jump into the British gangster movies. But you've seen Knight's Tale, you've seen Insomnia, and then if you want to watch the older films, that's up to you, and that's anybody out there. If you're just not a fan of older movies and they just don't do it for you, don't watch them. But if you do and you have an appreciation for that stuff, I highly recommend those two again: The Great Escape and The Great Race.
Lots of
greatness in there. So yep,
that about wraps it up.
We did it. Underappreciated movies, or at least so we think. It's our opinion. Again, if you don't like it,
what was it?
Huh? No, what was it? I like it. Yeah, shit. We'll have to go back and watch the replay. It's like, I like it but if you don't, something like that, go fuck
off or something.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. I like it. I don't care if you don't. Go fuck yourself.
That needs to be on a t-shirt. We need to talk to somebody.
Yes. Oh man.
For those of you out there, thanks for joining us tonight. It's been fun, but I'm getting really tired, and I have to work in the morning. It's 10:30 at night, and I know Jay, you work today as well. So
yep,
you're
probably I got 2 more days and then vacation.
You're probably ready to hit the hay too.
Man, I haven't had any time off since the beginning of the year when I got married, so I'm ready for it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I took
2
days off when I got married. That was it.
Damn, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah. Wound up like a spring. I need to go just veg and read and not do anything for an entire week. I'm ready.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Jay, do you have any social media things that they can get a hold of you or anything?
You could find me on most of the online forums that everybody's on, the Omnibus group, the associated subgroups, and every sort of freaking 90,000 subgroups that they have now.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, they're gonna do I'm joining them, so whatever. I'm guilty. Facebook, you can friend me on there if you want to. I'm pretty accessible there. I'm on Twitter, but if you find me, I'm pretty much talking about sports. So if you don't like sports, then you're not gonna like what I have to say. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Hit me up.
Guys, thanks once again for being patrons. Thanks for your support. Thanks for all the love you've shown this way. And as always, I will be speaking with you guys soon. And next week, it'll be it. Hopefully, I think.
Yep, it should. Unless
it should be it.
Some catastrophic event. I think I'm going to see it on Friday, so we'll get it done.
Flash flood in the theater.
Oh, God. No. God, no.
I think you only got like 1 or 2 more weekends before they pull it. Can't be that much. Oh, well, no, it's due. We'll get it at the box office, so they might hold it longer.
Tickets are purchased, so I'm locked in.
It's a done deal.
A done deal.
All right, guys. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll catch you probably not next week because I'm on vacation, but the week after that.
There you go.
Word.
Oh, you are on vacation next week?
Yeah, all next week.
Okay. I'll get somebody to fill in. I'll find somebody.
Word.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Night.
Bye.